Hi, this is Richard C. I'm a math tutor here at Wyzant, and I'm answering a question submitted by a student. This is actually a pretty straightforward calculus question, and this kind of question might give you a little trouble in the beginning when you're really used to derivatives and you're not used to working with antiderivatives or integrals. And so this just requires you to be thinking in terms of integrals or antiderivatives instead of derivatives. And this is a transition that you make when you're studying calculus. So let's just start with oops, this thing keeps moving on me. Here we go. We'll start with f double prime of x. So f double prime of x, the second derivative, is equal to f double prime of x is equal to the negative sine of x. So you probably learned that the derivative of the cosine is the negative sine. So the function whose derivative is negative sine, this is the antiderivative of negative sine, which is just going to be cosine of x plus some unknown constant c. That's because if I differentiate the left-hand side, I'm going to get f double prime here. If I differentiate the right-hand side, I'm going to get negative sine x plus 0. So now I have to evaluate c, and I'm going to do that by using the fact that we've got, this got cut off a little bit. Let me just drag it down. There we go. So we've got the fact that the first derivative, f prime of 0, is negative 2. So let's just plug that in. So f prime of 0 is going to be the cosine of 0 plus c. And the cosine of 0, I'm sure you know by now, is 1 plus c. So it's going to be cosine of 0 is 1. And we're told that f prime of 0 is negative 2. And so what that tells us is that c has to be, is equal to negative 2. And c has to be negative 3. You just subtract 1 from both sides. You're going to get negative 3 here. So now we have evaluated this constant, and we can write the first derivative at 0 is cosine x minus 3. And now we just have to take one more step, you see, because we're interested in f of x, the original function. So f of x, okay, so that should not be a 0 in there. Sorry about that. So that's f prime of x is just, okay, so now we just need that, find f of x. So we're going to take the antiderivative again. So this is going to be sine x minus 3x plus another constant. Because when I differentiate this on both sides, I'm going to get f prime of x on the left, and on the right, I'm going to get cosine of x minus 3 plus 0. And we're told that f of 0 is equal to 5, so we'll just go f of 0 equals the sine of 0 minus, sine of 0 minus 3 times 0 plus c. And we're told that's equal to 5, which means that f of x Sorry. So this is sine of 0 is 0, that's 0, so c is 5. Because sine of 0 is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, so c is 5. So now we're ready to wrap this up. So we have f of x is equal to sine x minus 3x plus 5. And finally, we have to know f of pi over 4. So the sine of pi over 4 is just square root of 2 over 2 minus 3 times pi over 4 plus 5. So that would be our answer. And we're done just by plugging in. So it's just it's a couple layers of finding antiderivatives and evaluating the constants, but you know it's fairly straightforward. It just seems a little strange at first when you're learning calculus to you study derivatives for a month or so, and then all of a sudden you're doing antiderivatives, and it gets a little hairy at first, but it's really not that bad. So that's it for this problem. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.